Welcome to the Classroom Connection, the show that takes you inside Marion County Public Schools. It is August, which means back to school for nearly 43,000 students and 6,000 employees in our school district. And there's plenty going on right now, believe me. So we're going to jump right in to today's show. A new school year brings new leaders, and for two schools on the same campus, they will each have their own principal after years of sharing just one. Joe Hartley introduces us to Teresa Buck and Suzette Parker, both leading separate schools right next door to each other.
I'm so excited to be back here that I have to temper my enthusiasm. Remember that things are working very well here. It's not broke, don't fix it, you know. So I just need to make sure that I'm maintaining the momentum that we have and looking for opportunities when they present themselves to do some new things.
After a year away, Suzette Parker returns to Osceola Middle as its new principal after having served 5 years as an assistant at the school. She expects that background to help her in her first year in charge.
I know the history of the school and the culture of the school, which is a strong advantage. I know the staff, for most of them. The only way that is a drawback at all is they know me as the assistant principal, so to make a transition to the principal for some of them might be a little bit different.
Her predecessor, John McCullum, allowed his assistant principals to handle some of his day-to-day duties for a couple of reasons. One, he simply couldn't be in two places at once, but also because it helped prepare them to run the school themselves one day.
I think even if he hadn't been split 50-50 between the two schools, he's always very cognizant of developing his assistant principals to prepare them to be principals.
Across campus, Teresa Buck takes over at 8th Street Elementary. Since she doesn't have a background at the school, she's asking a lot of questions of those who do.
I really rely on Miss Rainey, my secretary. We've been working a lot, this summer together, especially when it comes to budget and finance. And again, I just go back to just asking as many questions as I can. It's really experience is your best teacher. Exposure to things is your best teacher.
Fortunately, she has seen up close the challenges faced, mistakes made, and lessons learned by a first-year principal, having worked with Lou Ann Clark at Greenway last year.
I got to see what were some of the areas that she needed to ask more questions about, and then what were some areas that she was confident in. And she was wonderful about yelling across the hallway, "Come on over here, come see this," or come look at this, because I didn't know this is how you did it. And so a lot of that happened last year, and I really appreciated that because that exposed me to what I really am going to have to do this year.
Buck is relying so much on what she learned at Greenway that she has a copy of the Greenway playbook in her 8th Street office and Clark on speed dial.
Mrs. Clark and I have a little bit of a joke, and I told her, when I got the job, I said, "You're not allowed to roll your eyes at me in front of me every time that I call you," because I know I'm going to call a lot.
We talk probably every day, and that's great. I love being able to help, and I would not have made it the first year had I not had people I could call, to help me along.
I ask a lot of questions, and I tell them that ahead of time. I'd rather know than not know. I'd rather do it right the first time than to have to apologize and redo it. So I do make a lot of phone calls, but I think that's just what's going to help me through this year, make it a success, and then, be even better next year.
Just like elsewhere, students at these two schools need back-to-school supplies to make their first week successful. This year, Operation Stuff the Bus marks 14 years of putting donated school supplies directly into the hands of those who need it most, students. So far, the program has gathered and given nearly $500,000 in school supplies to those who need it most. As Chadwick Pierce shows us, generosity drives this campaign from donors and volunteers alike.
Present arms. Present arms.
Back in 2002, some veterans in Marion County got together to come up with an idea on how to help some of the needy children in the school system. What they came up with has been very successful.
This is our 14th year with Stuff the Bus, and what happened was I was invited to speak to the Military Officers Association at a luncheon, and they decided that they wanted to do something to help children in our community, and they were talking about doing a barbecue and giving me some money. But looking around the room, there was so much talent and so many wonderful people, and I said, there's so many of the volunteers, and what I really want to do instead of just money to buy school supplies is to take a bus, crisscross the county, have the community donate school supplies, and then we can give them to that many more children.
This program has become an annual thing. And the name for the program came about in a very simple way.
It sort of grew out of a lot of leadership from Suzanne, because we didn't know exactly how to do that. And so when she talked about the bus, somebody said in the audience at that meeting, why don't we call it Stuff the Bus? Because we're going to collect items and we can put them on the bus. So that's really how the name started. And from there, we formed a team, a committee with Suzanne, and that's the start of Operation Stuff the Bus, as we called it, because it was a military kind of thing, so we always call it Operation Stuff the Bus.
The items that are donated range from crayons to backpacks, and they all have to be sorted and delivered according to the school's needs.
The guidance counselors are told that if they talk to their teachers and if there's any child or family that's having difficulty, that they have the supplies in their closet there. And then as soon as they run low on items, they email my office and we box them up and send them out there. Because the truth is, if you look around this room, everything's consumable. Glue runs out, crayons run out, paper, all of those things are just like a one-time use, so we continue to send supplies all year long.
Making sure that students have the supplies and equipment that they need for a successful mission for the school year are not the only goals for this operation.
I think the most important thing is that with Stuff the Bus, first of all, 100% of every dollar buys supplies for the students. And that's really important. There's not an admin cost. We're not offsetting a salary or anything, 100%. So if somebody gives us a donation, whether it's $5 or $50 or $150, all of that is going to buy supplies and help children.
Hopefully, we don't continue to have homeless children that need our support in growing numbers. We'd like to return to that 800 where we started and maybe get to 0.
Students also need food to succeed in school, especially those who come to class hungry. Fortunately, our summer feeding program meets that need and a whole lot more. Tom Lauder shares how this year's efforts are dishing out 13,000 more meals than ever before.
Students and families enjoying a hot meal? You may be asking yourself, what is the cost? Well, for the students and the others, it's costing nothing. So who pays?
Our summer program is paid for through the state. We get reimbursed for every meal that we feed to the children. Each meal that's made, that is eaten, that we serve only to the children, we get reimbursed through the state. Summer feeding programs helps families through the summer feed the children while they're at work, feeds the children while the parent can't feed the children, and it also makes sure that they have nutritious meals. Breakfast, we have lunch, and we also do a couple supper programs also, and we also have a snack program for them too.
The state and our local school system understands the importance of the students being well fed and to have strong minds and bodies. This program is important not only to students, but to their families as well.
It also helps with parents knowing if they're running short on funds, that they can ensure that their child can have a meal in many different locations. So it's also helping making sure that our kids are fed all the time.
Hold on, wait a minute, hit you right here, okay? Do you want carrots?
We also serve hot meals and we serve cold meals, which is great. We used to serve just cold years back, but now we've increased and we've made it better, and we have hot and cold meals. It gives children variety. Some like cold meals some days, some like hot meals some day. So it gives them a warm meal when they want one and a cold meal also.
Well, how does serving lunches to students during the summer months aid the community, and how? Does the summer feeding program provide anything other service to our local area other than meals?
It does a lot for the community because it helps to ensure that our staff has jobs, and to ensure that our staff has jobs, it helps with the community because we're helping with their pay, we're helping with, to make sure that they have jobs, that they're not going out and having to get help for this summer and assistance for the summer and stuff also. It also helps with parents knowing if they're running short on funds that they can ensure that their child can have a meal in many different locations.
What is the one thing that the school system wants to make sure happens with this program, along with a great menu?
It gives them a big variety. We have a good menu during the summer. It gives them a big variety, and they can continue. We want to make sure that they have meals, so it helps us continue feeding them through the summer until school starts back up.
The summer feeding program is open to all students, but keep in mind, during the regular school year, 2 out of every 3 of our students qualify for free or reduced meals in our district. That's a lot. Well, learning can be difficult for students who move around and struggle with language barriers, but that does not stop these students from taking part in activities you and I pretty much take for granted every day. The curriculum may change often, from Rosetta Stone to interactive video gaming and learning how to make movies, but our migrant program offers help from an unlikely source. Tom Louder explains.
You hear a lot about immigration in the news today, but what you may not know is that Marion County, we have a population of migrant students who still must work in the fields alongside their parents. And because of this, they lose portions of their curriculum. And here's where the migrant program comes in to help save those students.
Kids, when they go back after summer, they can lose 2 to 3 months of growth. And so for our kids, when they go home and they're only hearing Spanish in the home, which is the case for a lot of our kids, they can lose at least 2 months. They can lose more than that. And so our goal was to get them not only hearing English, but keep them involved in lessons. With iReady, they were able to do a diagnostic to show exactly where they were in learning, and then we'll be able to show growth after this as well. So really it was just to get them hearing English, to get them in a school type setting so that they could learn and keep them on par.
Do you speak English?
Well, the purpose of the migrant program is really to have the kids be involved in academics and not lose their learning over the summer, so that when they go back to school, they're going to be not only where they were before, but hopefully a little bit higher than where they were before. So that's what we're really hoping for, and then where we hope to take it is to continue it with the kids throughout next year, so that they can make a year's worth of growth or more throughout next school year. The program, the statistics in the program is if they're on 45 minutes in reading and 45 minutes in math per week, they'll make at least a year's worth of growth within 30 weeks. And so that's what we're really striving for with them, is to show that they've made their year's worth of growth or more for next year.
And along with teaching, the students get the basics. They also have the opportunity to experience Movie Making 101 and putting it together from start to finish, with the help of some of their fellow students.
We have a high percentage of population that are migrant workers that come in and out of our school system, and we're providing them with educational resources. These videos are more or less a lesson plan. How to wash your hands. Well, first of all, before they go to the bathroom, they have to wash off all those pesticides they have in the fields. Instead of putting all the money from their earnings in the mattress, about opening a bank account. Just those simple things that we take for every day, we're actually teaching them, and all the videos are in Spanish.
Things that maybe we take for granted, like it's just something that comes so common in America that maybe other people aren't as aware about. Like washing hands is something very important, obviously, but maybe some in other countries it's not practiced as often as it is here.
Oh, it says use. Okay, someone tell us. Alguien nos dijo cómo usar el mapa.
We're a nation built upon immigrants, and this is a vital, important program to provide an educational process for that next generation coming up. These are the pilgrims from 250 years ago or 300 years ago. This is, we need to be able to, give us your tired, give us your poor, and we're going to provide education and opportunity to better yourself. And so that's what I like about the program. There's some awesome programs out there that are doing killers.
This type of program is necessary because we meet the need of the student to help them succeed. Well, speaking of students, hundreds of youngsters spent their summer getting ready for school. Sound strange? Well, not if you're in pre-K or pre-kindergarten programs. What's the importance of VPK, and why do we want every youngster taking part in these programs? Chadwick Pierce tells us why.
The voluntary pre-kindergarten program is designed to prepare Florida's children for kindergarten and develop the skills they need to become successful students.
We have two programs. We have a regular full-year school year program, and that runs just the gamut of a regular school year. So we start in August and we will end in May this year. And then we also have a second program that's available to our parents, and that is the summer program. The school year program has 540 hours that students would be enrolled, and so that's the morning portion of the day. And then the afternoon portion is where our Title I funding comes in, and we continue to pay so that the child can have an entire day worth of learning.
The curriculum these students work with might surprise you.
We use a very structured curriculum. We use the ELM curriculum, so we cover the academics as far as language acquisition and phonics, phonemic awareness, all the pieces that one would need to be a better speaker, to be able to learn to read, to learn the alphabet, to identify the sounds, to blend. Our children form words when they leave, they write. Many of them can read when they're leaving the program. We're really excited about the progress that the children make.
Children who attend high-quality VPK do much better when they get to kindergarten, and this makes an enormous difference for their future success.
When the kids come in, they can range from having very high level of knowledge of the alphabet and numbers and those concepts, and there's some kids that start from the very beginning, and we have to work with each one at their own level, so that way once we realize what level they're on, we can take that knowledge that they already have and push it to a higher level.
Teaching experts say get the student into a program like this as early as you can, because the benefits are dramatically increased.
The younger the child is and the sooner that they come to school and are exposed to all the routines, the curriculum, and just the way of life socially in school, the social aspect is definitely a great help as they, journey on through the other grades.
So if you are a parent and you are thinking about enrolling your little one in VPK, the experts say do it. You will not be sorry.
The best thing I think that our VPK provides is for our children to have that opportunity to come in and to work with a certified teacher and to just blossom with what they already know, and to come in and just get stronger and have a better understanding.
Year-round VPK starts this month with the regular school year. Contact your local school to see what options are available for you and your child. Now, here's a story that can be both positive and negative, depending pretty much on how you look at it. Negative because it talks about crime, but positive because it's all about keeping kids away from crime. You might say it's a scared straight program that puts kids in jail to keep them out of jail. Confused? Yeah, pretty much me too. Joel Hartley sets things straight.
What our kids do in the grant program is they work in rotations that will help them eventually move them into real world experiences and apply what they've learned to the real world when they get out and get their own jobs and so forth. And hopefully by having community members come in and taking them on community-based field trips, it helps shape how they're going to decide what their career may be in the future.
One of the 21st century field trips was a visit to the jail without ever leaving campus, thanks to the Marion County Sheriff's Department showing up with a jail cell on wheels.
It's literally the width and the length. Obviously the height's not there because we have bunk beds and our roofs are higher at jail. But really I'm hoping they get a sense of, you know what, this is really not where I want to be. I don't want to wind up here.
And when you get into jail, you're going to meet your roommate. They may want your blanket. They may want your mattress. They may want your pillow. And in some cases, they may want you.
Corporal Oswalt, who serves as the school resource officer at Fort McCoy, gave the students an up-close look at what it's like to be locked up, what the different inmate uniform colors mean.
If you get in trouble, or you have a third-degree felony, you're a black and white.
And what the mattresses are stuffed with.
They're made of these clothes here and things, and the pillows are made out of clothes here, worn out clothes, and it's not really comfy. Put your head on, it's hard. It's okay at first, but then it gets tired and you feel like something's in the bed with you, like a metal bar or something.
While Jordan Tucker left an impression on the mattress, literally, it also left an impression on him.
What did you learn today from this?
Not to go to jail.
Why?
Because I don't want to sleep on these mattresses and be in a small room and have a toilet seat and have my room buddy peeking in on me.
That reaction is exactly what Corporal Oswald hopes for from these visits.
What we're hoping is that they can walk through here and get an experience of what it's really like to be in jail, and hopefully use it as deterrent to say, you know what, this is not what I want. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm going to make some better choices now.
I just really want them to have an overall understanding of what the consequences are if they choose to make the wrong decisions, and hopefully if any of our students want to go into law enforcement, this might be a path that they want to go to. It could be a career choice as well.
School resource officers play huge roles on all of our campuses. Students trust them with sensitive information that often prevents major catastrophes. While Marion County discusses the future of its local public libraries in our community, libraries of a different sort are popping up all over with 24/7 access. They're called Little Free Libraries, and they're becoming quite popular, especially to honor those who impact local education. Joe Hartley shows us what they're all about and why they're becoming so popular.
Well, the Little Free Libraries were actually an idea I found first on Pinterest. I was just looking for library ideas, and I came across a picture of a phone booth in England, and it was stocked with books. And I thought, wonder what that is. So when I clicked the link, it talked about the fact that when they got rid of payphones in England, they didn't take down the booths. They just started leaving books there for people to take and borrow and bring back. And so that's where the Little Free Library idea came from. So as soon as I saw that, I thought, oh, we have to have one. So I took the idea to the Marion County Association of School Librarians, and they of course loved it because we're all librarians, and we approached Mr. Tomyn to see if we could put our first Little Free Library here at the district office. He was definitely on board, and so we had this one built by a teacher at Bellevue High School, and his engineering class actually built it, and we put this one up about 18 months to 2 years ago, and it's been very, very, very successful.
From there, the individual librarians took the idea and ran with it, starting with Joan Lorenko in Dunellen.
She got donations from Lowe's, built a Little Free Library, and they actually asked Swampy's Restaurant if they could put it there so that more people from the community could use the books.
Since then, Little Free Libraries have popped up at Vanguard High, North Marion Middle, and East Marion, Sunrise, and Anthony Elementaries, each with its own look.
You can have anything made into a Little Free Library. That's up to you. On the website they sell Little Free Libraries already made, but they're kind of expensive, and we didn't really want to spend all our money on the actual structure. We'd rather spend our money on stocking it with books for the community. So this one was designed and built by an engineering class. Mrs. Lorenko's was built by her construction class at her school, and hers looks more like a little house. And it's very similar to the one at North Marion Middle School. But if you look on the website, you'll see that Little Free Libraries are all different shapes and sizes. Some of them are in old suitcases, some of them are in mailboxes, some of them are in trunks. It just depends on what you want.
What Belinda Vos and other librarians want is to get people reading.
The whole idea is to spread literacy throughout the county, and we know that a lot of our students don't have books at home, and so we thought that this would be a great idea and a great opportunity for each little community to have a place to come to get free books. So you can come and take a book, and you can read it and then return it if you want to. If you take it and you really, really like it, you can keep it. You can bring other books here and drop them off. You can also just donate books to us, and we spread them out throughout the whole county.
As the use of a Little Free Library goes up, the amount of work needed to maintain it goes down.
Usually what happens with Little Free Libraries is at the beginning, when you first put one up, you kind of have to make sure that you have enough books to stock it for about a month. Then after that, you'll notice when you come back that there's books that you didn't put in, other people have left theirs, and so it's a great way to just exchange books and promote literacy throughout the county.
We're happy to host Little Free Libraries on our school campuses. Why? Because they're a logical choice and they're easily located and widely known in the community. The concept continues to grow, and in addition to the 7 current schools that have libraries on their campuses, there are 4 other privately run Little Free Libraries in Marion County, and plans are in the works to add one at North Marion Middle and another at Liberty Middle School, so watch out for those. Well, our superintendent is a big supporter of the program, having attended every one of the dedication ceremonies. In fact, the Little Free Library at East Marion Elementary is dedicated to him and his family of educators. Speaking of Mr. Tomyn, he shares with us now in this month's Superintendent Spotlight.
We've had a busy summer here with the Marion County Public School System. Over 2,000 students participated in kindergarten through 12th grade. Our middle school and high school students have been recovering units or credits that they may have not earned last year. Our elementary students have been participating in STEM programs and 3rd grade retention programs in many, many summer camps. We've served over 67,000 meals and snacks to our students and other folks in our community this summer through our great food service program. So indeed, we have been busy. Our teachers and administrators have taken a well-deserved break and are now actually already back at school in a number of in-service activities, participating in professional development, preparing for school year 15-16. And please do remember, our school system does start on August 17th for students this year, a week earlier than last year. Next year, in 2016, we'll go ahead and give everyone a prep right now. We'll be starting around August the 10th. I'm standing here at Forest High School today in the Media Center, and what better place to once again thank our community for passing the 1 mil referendum. A couple of years ago, and over the past 2 or 3 years, we've had to reduce a number of our programs. We convinced you, and you, the community, responded that we needed to bring back elementary art, music, PE, and those very important media specialist positions. So here we are today to say thank you again for helping our school recover and restore the valuable programs that enhance our educational delivery for all of our students. Thank you again for being supportive of our school system. We welcome all of our new students back. We welcome our new teachers and new employees to Marion County. We're off to a great start for 15-16.
Thanks for joining us on today's Classroom Connection. Remember, sign up for our mobile app called Schoolway. You will receive text messages about the latest school information. And of course, you can always check out our website for information as well. That website is marion.k12.fl.us, the same address you see there listed on your screen. We're updating that website, so watch out for a brand new look very soon. Meantime, parents, you know what I'm going to say. Continue to be there for your child every day. Thanks for watching.